8:21, let's dig deeper into one of the big stories of the week. A staple in Prince George's County is closing later this year. Six Flags in Bowie announced Thursday it will shut down after the season. So what are the next steps when it comes to redeveloping the land? Joining me in studio to talk more about this is Prince George's County Councilmember Wala Blegay. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I know you've been busy.
It has been a no sleep last couple days.
Yeah.
We got the call out of nowhere.
Yeah, it certainly came as a shock to not just people in Prince George's County, to county leaders as well. Talk about your initial reaction when you first heard this news.
Well, it was just the shock of it. We've been working with Six Flags. Six Flags has been one of the better partners in the county. When they have meetings with the community every twice a year. They've come to my office. I've spoken with them, and some people are talking about the fights, but the reality is that they're not fights at the park every day.
Yeah.
Their work, when they had concerns that they had the chaperone policy come in. So it was one of those things where nobody saw this coming. There was no one. So when people say we were preparing, no, because I don't want to be in this position of having to scramble to find something. We'd rather have months of time to get notice. And that's what I told Six Flags when they called me at 4 p.m. on Friday, that I would have liked months notice, even years notice, or if there were any concerns that they would bring it to me so that we could talk about it and bring stakeholders to the table to address it. But when they called, they said that the decision was final.
Okay. Talk about that a little bit more, because this is a very short turnaround, right? It's not that we're closing after next season, it's this season, which is just a few months away. What does the timeline look like for finding what's next for this land?
Well, we have to move fast. So there are a couple things. It does close in November, but they were very clear that they wanted to sell the land. So we have to, I think as a county, what do we want? We need to find someone that could either take over with the vision that we want now, or we need to find a strategy that makes sure that it doesn't go to someone that is 500 acres of land around prime property in my district, in the county. If we have someone take over that's not going to work with us, that's going to bring something that will be a disturbance to the community, that would be something that could set the next couple decades in the county. This is prime land. When I ran, I told people we were going to expand the commercial tax base. So replacing a commercial tax base with housing, which is the rumor that's running around, is not what I want. But in addition, right now it's not quite zoned for that. It is zoned for park amusement entertainment. So that's number one where we're going to start. But I would say within the time that it was announced and it got on news everywhere, I have had people who are interested in developing calling my office, trying to set up meetings. Even yesterday, all day, every hour, someone was calling. So the good thing is that while this is so disappointing, I was shocked, and just the whole shock of it shook me a bit. But I immediately saw this as an opportunity. This is an opportunity to plan the future. This is not something we anticipated, but we can use it. So as people are calling me, we're looking at what is currently zoned for and what we could get now, because we rather be a part of that sale, making sure that whatever Six Flags does, it transitions in a way that benefits the community.
And I want to expand on that, because obviously you said it's not zoned for that. Doesn't mean it could never be zoned for that, but you are saying that that is not the goal for you all. What is the vision then for this land, and how do you make sure that it continues to have, job opportunities for the youth, for families, locally, right, in the county? And I think it's a lot of, maybe not a vacation spot, but people who maybe cannot afford to go on a long vacation, you still have something that is an attraction right there in your backyard. So what is the vision for this next?
And that's actually the vision at the beginning. Now, I will say this, what we want to do is be strategic. I had a call with State Attorney Aisha Braveboy, who we do expect to be the next county executive. And she was clear that we want to be strategic. We are putting a team together right now. Park and Planning is putting a team together that's going to work with us. I spoke with our chairman, Peter Shapiro. He's already working on that. I spoke with State Attorney Aisha Braveboy. She's putting a team together, and we're going to get together, because what we realize, we don't want to, we have short time, but we don't want to just move without vision.
Right.
So the starting is to keep up with entertainment, because that is expanding our tax base. We're losing we possibly could be losing commanders. I want to tell people nothing's final. But the reality is that we have opportunity to create that entertainment sector that we want to build on in the county, starting with downtown Largo, the Blue Line corridor, which is right down the street.
Yeah.
So this could be an opportunity to expand. So while we're putting the team together, we're asking all of the people who've been calling me, put your proposals together.
Okay.
And we're going to start looking at that. But what I want to tell people is that you're right that housing it's not quite zoned for housing right now. The zoning that they have, people are talking about a bunch of townhomes, a bunch of apartments. It's not zoned for that right now. Now that could change, but that would not change without the community being a part of that, because that requires a change of zoning, rezoning, requires a whole process. That requires notice to the public. That requires a lot of input, right? And what I tell residents here, look, we've been getting notices from people saying no townhomes, apartments. I'm listening. So keep sending the messages, because we are listening. And what we're doing is putting together, ideally, what residents would want. I'm going to be having, once we get more information, we are in the beginning of this. So we're gathering the team to put together what's there. And we're going to have parking planning even talk about the process. We're going to have meetings where people will know what the process is, and what we have. If we have to rezone, they will be a part of the process.
10 seconds left. You mentioned the commanders. Really a big blow for Prince George's County. 2 hits in 1 week. On an economic standpoint, a few seconds left, but what is your message to people in that county when it comes to the economy and what it'll look like in the future?
Well, I will say this. We're going through a difficult time. I think the bigger thing, I'm not so concerned about the stadium and Six Flags, because there's opportunity. The bigger issue is the attack on our federal workers, because that is attacking the base of our residents. Our industry in the county are mostly federal workers and federal contractors. We have over 73,000 federal workers. So that's actually where we're really concerned. We have to sort of stop the bleeding in that area, because we don't want foreclosures to come. However, I would tell people I would not be so worried about the future of the county with the loss of the commanders and Six Flags, if possibly the commanders, because that's always open for opportunity. This is a time where we can write a new story in Prince George's County. There was a news story 20 years ago when the commanders came to the county, the Redskins in 1997. That opened up a whole new 2 decades of history in the county. And now we have an opportunity to bring something that can write a new story for Prince George's County, that can rebrand the county or expand the brand that we have now. A
conversation that's certainly just getting started. We appreciate your time, Councilmember Wala Blegay. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be right back.